This is the Transformers Generations Studio Series from the video game Transformers War for Cybertron. We have Deluxe Class Gamer Edition, figure number 5, Cliffjumper. Man, this figure looks terrific in packaging. I didn't expect it to be this good, but fantastic box art. That head sculpt looking very, very awesome. I picked up this figure from Robo in Singapore. Let's get this bad boy out of packaging.
You deserve a better death.
And here is the Studio Series War for Cybertron Gamer Edition. Cliffjumper out of the box. And boy, this figure turned out great. It has everything, all the elements you need for a badass Cliffjumper. This figure is as impressive as the Gamer Edition Bumblebee, and it has a brand new Cliffjumper head sculpt to boot. Let's take a closer look at the details of this new Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Cliffjumper. Let's begin with some comparisons. On this side, we have the original version of this mold, the Studio Series War for Cybertron Gamer Edition Deluxe Class Bumblebee. And on the other side, we have the, Netflix War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Cliffjumper. Now, for the last 15 or 20 years or so, Cliffjumper, at least for the Generations line or Studio Series line or movie line, has always been a repaint of Bumblebee. And back in G1, Cliffjumper wasn't a direct repaint of Bumblebee. The molds were very similar, but not a direct repaint as what's going on with the movie figures, game figures, and Generations figures. So moving forward, I hope Hasbro can somehow give us new molds for Cliffjumper that's not a repaint or redeco of Bumblebee. I like what they did with Transformers Prime, wherein Cliffjumper was a completely different mold, different character from Bumblebee, and I kind of wish they could do that moving forward with succeeding games, cartoons, and movies. Now, having said all of that, being a repaint and sort of redeco of this original mold, I honestly believe that this is the superior version of the mold. The plastic quality is identical. It's the same kind of glossy, semi-cheap plastic quality that you find with the Gamer Edition Bumblebee, but I think the red-colored version does it better. It's glossier, the figure just pops out better. Even the weapons, if you notice, they are using a slightly darker shade of gray. It's still an unpainted type of plastic, but there's more gloss with the Cliffjumper weapons than with Bumblebee. Looking at the head sculpts, you can see that this new Cliffjumper head sculpt, obviously based off of the game, is closer to the Transformers Prime Cliffjumper more than the G1 Cliffjumper. And I like it. I like that he looks more badass here in this version than as opposed to maybe had they done a more stylized version of the G1 head, I actually would have preferred this one. As regards the mold degradation, I didn't see any. Most of the joints are about the same tightness as what you would find with a Bumblebee. As far as transformation goes, it's identical to the Gamer Edition Bumblebee, so I'm not gonna put you through that gauntlet, torturous transition from a robot to car mode. So let's just get both of these figures in the respective alt modes. And here are both figures in the respective car modes or alt modes. And in alt mode, the story is a little different. Bumblebee has the slighter edge. I think it's because the other black paint and red paint really pop out with the mustard yellow. But with Cliffjumper, because he's already done in red plastic, they didn't feel the need to paint the taillights. The red stripe, the red energy stripe isn't really coming out as vibrant as Bumblebee because the whole entire vehicle mode is red. So in a sense, the figure, it pops more in alt mode than in robot mode. But take nothing away from this Cliffjumper figure, it still looks great even in alt mode. And here they are with the weapons stored in alt mode. The other gun is underneath, obviously, but yeah. Both very cool looking alt modes. And finally here they both are with the diorama that came with the Cliffjumper figure. They look amazing displayed like this. And so some final thoughts on the Studio Series Gamer Edition Cliffjumper. I really enjoyed this figure. I think it is the superior version of the mold, but that's just me. Do you really need another Cliffjumper figure in your collection? If you are a big fan of the game, you love the aesthetic, the look of these video game characters that Hasbro has designed together with the game designers, then yeah, this is definitely for you. I think in some regard, they are the better versions of these figures compared to the original ones that were released for the game. Sure, those figures are bigger, they have probably more solid plastic, but they're very annoying to transform. The proportions were a little bit off. These figures, albeit much smaller, plastic isn't as solid. I thought the designs and aesthetics were much better proportions, more accurate to the game. The details are a lot better. If you're just starting out your Gamerverse collection, these are great figures to begin your collection with. Cliffjumper is going to get a 9.5 out of 10. Absolutely amazing. I highly recommend you go and pick it up. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this Transformers Studio Series from the video game Transformers War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Gamer Edition Cliffjumper. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.